Um, good day, everyone. Welcome to 31st July 2025 LFT Decentralized Trust Technical Advisory Council meeting. Before we get started with today's meeting, a couple of reminders. The first one is antitrust policy notice that all the Linux Foundation meetings follow. We all are aware that these meetings that happen are all happening in open, and then we all are required to abide by antitrust policies across the land, like where you participate from. And the next quick reminder is, since we already spoke, these meetings are open. We may see participation from new members or like those who have been participating in these meetings, but do respect each other. We all are welcome in these meetings. Let's uphold the community standards. Today's meeting link has had a change, but thanks for joining in. Before we get started with the agenda items for today, quick announcement. We all know the developer newsletter that goes out to a large developer community within LFT Decentralized Trust. So if you have any project updates or project releases or any other thing which requires comments for your project or any other thing that you would like to announce from your perspective, please do utilize this forum. All you have to do is go to the wiki page and leave a comment out there, which will be picked up in that week's developer newsletter email that goes out. With that, let's quickly talk about quarterly reports that were pending for due and annual report that is pending for review. So out of all the quarterly reports that were available for review, I see couple of them, the Hyro and Solang reports, have had at least 5 TAC members approving it. For majority, we need one more TAC member, or if the project review is up for review for more than 2 weeks, then it will get merged. So I request, if you are not yet reviewed the project report, please do review. I do see one concern posted on Cacti project report, which is about Peter leaving the maintainership for the project and Accenture stepping away from maintainers as of now within the project. And the project team is calling out for TAC to assist them in any way possible. And project team does have their own means of acquiring new maintainers to the project, or like communicating the need for the project with new organizations that have contributed in the past. But I'll take a pause here and open up for comments on this particular project report or any of the other project reports. So I would request comments from any of the TAC members if you have any suggestions for Cacti project, or we let project team explore on their own and then maybe connect with the staff. Or if you have any other suggestions, please do let us know. I see thumbs up from Rama.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you. So if anybody has any suggestions, please, mention them on the chat or reach out to us.
Okay, and we now have quorum, so.
Perfect. So we'll closely follow up on further review comments on the open quarterly review, pending quarterly reports for the projects. And we also have pending reports which are yet to be submitted for the TAC review. I did hear back from Credible team that they will submit their report very soon. And I also heard from Drummond that he will closely work with the TOIP, TSC, and the staff in producing the report soon. I will have one more follow-up with other projects from where I haven't heard back yet. That, moving on to the next agenda item, which is about discussions for today. We have Kevin joining us. Thanks again for joining us. And Kevin proposed the compact programming language in the previous TAC meeting. And thanks for addressing all the open questions during the meeting and also actively following up with the pull request. One of the questions that were open in the past meeting was access to GitHub repositories and questions around that. And thanks for actively following up and granting TAC members access to the repository while it is in process of being open sourced.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I will open up for comments from TAC members and any questions to follow up on the project proposal.
Would the submitters like to talk a little bit? Oh, I see Matthew raise his hand.
Hi, yeah, thanks, Ray. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I guess given that we have some of the project proposals on the call, I thought it'd be useful just to get another take on the degree of complexity that they think building compilers for other platforms it realistically is, given that I think the proposal talks about this being currently only available for midnight, I believe. I wonder whether or not you could just comment on that a little bit as to the skill set required for people to come to this project if it's accepted and be able to contribute to it in a way that allows it to evolve to other chains.
Yeah, I can try to address that. I think you would have to have some compiler expertise. What the two big pieces that need to be implemented separately for a different chain is the very back end code generation where we generate JavaScript and something that we call ZKIR for proof representations in the Midnight network. You would have to design your own representation of the contracts in whatever platform you were working in, and you would have to implement the translation from the last compiler intermediate language into that representation. So that would take some compiler expertise. We do have the one example, which is that we've implemented it for the Midnight blockchain, but the details would be different. So it's the project was architected to allow for this to be done. It's not trivial to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And do you think as a project that the group of people who would be the maintainers of this project or lab or whether or not they would likely be available or looking to spend time on that side of the project, or whether their focus would primarily be on developing the current resources, the current compiler, I guess the Midnight oriented support that it currently has. Can you just maybe give us a feel for? I know that maintainer list changes. We've just seen the discussion about exactly that for the Kangsai project.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a set in stone statement, but I guess just from the outset, do you envisage there being contributions from the current proposed maintainers in that space, or primarily just around its current shape?
The current maintainers are all employed by Shielded Technologies, building the Midnight blockchain. And so in the short and even intermediate term, I think that's the priority for those engineers who are being paid to work on that. What we're hoping to do is to gather interest from other blockchains that they themselves would want to work with us to develop that.
And
Sure.
if I
Yeah,
can add
sweet.
to that, it is ultimately the mission of Shielded Technologies to expand beyond the Midnight blockchain in the privacy space. So in our longer term roadmap, we could see an evolution of that. But Kevin's exactly right. In the short term, our entire team is maniacally focused on our mainnet launch. But in the 1 to 5 year time frame, that will evolve.
Sure. Thanks, Bob. Hey, good.
Nice to see him. Hey, Enrique. Nice to see you as well.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, thank you. That's is useful context, I think, because I think it's useful for TAC members just to understand the direction of travel for a project. And I think it is useful to know that the medium long-term direction of travel is towards wanting these technologies to apply elsewhere. So yeah, thanks for that clarification, Bob.
Yeah, and I guess from my side, I guess that also maybe should be added to proposal as a motivation for the spec of this language, right? Moving it from a Midnight Foundation to a more open governed Linux foundation such as Trust with loads of different protocol support might be, as you say, opening up to get support from other ecosystems might be one of those motivations that we can add to the proposal of contributing this.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Enrique. Diane?
Just wondering, has there been any interest from other blockchains in participating? Or is this the first foray into being open? Have you had any conversations about it being applied to other blockchains?
Yes, specifically the one you're representing. I
Yes.
met with Sean back in June. We started some initial discussions around that. So yeah, that's sort of the first one. I've actually privately, because of my own personal interest, thought about how we would integrate this in with Vesu. But I haven't started any conversations yet, more investigations on my own part.
Okay. Well, thank you. That hadn't filtered down to the technical level yet. So
No, I mean it was a conversation in late June at an LFTT event in New York and Sham and I go back a long way.
Go ahead. I guess since we're not having other TAC members raising their hands, I'll virtually raise my hand. So I'm sure like this will be addressed, but just a quick reminder, like for the project team to work with the staff when possible during the process of open sourcing regarding trademark, because I'm assuming Compact has been in use. I'm not sure if it is trademarked, and like just take care of those concerns. And generally, like we do look for repositories to ensure like it has followed open source practices before it is adopted into LF Decentralized Trust. And that's where we request for like access to repositories, just going through and seeing like how long the issues have taken to be addressed, or how long the pull requests have been there pending for review, and how actively maintainers are addressing, and what kind of supports do they provide for new contributors. And just in from repositories, looking for whether the project is adhering to all the license guidelines which have been put up within LF Decentralized Trust, and whether like all the commits have DCO sign off. These are general things that we look for within repositories when we get access to it. I would request project team to have a look at those when possible and closely work with staff and maybe others where where more help is needed.
Thanks, Arun. If I can respond to that a little bit, we are as we open source our repositories, we've been doing our best to follow LFTT guidance, even where we're not intending to contribute those a given repository. So we are ensuring Apache 2 licensing, and signed commits is already a mandatory requirement for us. So yeah, we are taking that into account as we roll things out. The compact one has not completed that process yet, so you'll see that it may not be fully in compliance yet. With regard to the name, it is the position of the Midnight Foundation to not use the compact name for the project. And they will be proposing alternative names that we'll provide to you for trademark search. One question I had, I guess, and this might be a question for Hart or Daniela, is do we need to go through a renaming process within the repository if the project is called whatever? Does the binary of compact need to be renamed, and do we need to go through a complete restructuring?
I guess I'll answer. I can try to answer this, Bob. The answer is eventually we would like you to get to a state where sort of if the Midnight Network retains the compact trademark, we would eventually like to get you to a state where trademark names are not in the code base, but we understand that this takes time and there's leniency and sort of a relatively long grace period on this.
Well, the interesting thing is they do not own the compact trademark for our language. The trademark that they have is Midnight Compact.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that's probably even easier then.
But somebody, I mean, my understanding is somebody else does own the compact trademark, though. I mean, that trademark is owned, is my understanding.
Yeah, there's some obscure German company.
Yeah, I think again, not a lawyer.
Yeah.
And, but our lawyer take is probably that is it really likely that a obscure German company is going to sue us because you used compact in a function name call? Probably not.
Yeah, and Bob, I'm happy to coordinate, further conversations with Daniel about this. But like as Hart said, we understand there's a transition period and there is some, flexibility here.
Awesome.
So right. Yeah, this is as long as like the stuff will get renamed, and yeah, we're generally eventually fine with it. That's been what I've told anyway. That's what I've been told.
Okay.
Thank you, Hart. Thanks, David and Bob. So in the past, we have seen project being proposed with a placeholder name. If required, that can also be followed, like just to avoid any complications. So with that, since I don't hear any further comments, I would like to open this meeting for TAC voting on the compact programming language proposal that we have. I would need someone to bring it for vote and someone to second that, if we all agree.
So just to be clear,
What?
the proposal is to accept the compact framework as a project. That's the proposal. We would need someone to propose that. We would need a TAC member to propose that, and then we would need a TAC member to second that proposal so that we can have a vote.
Motion to propose.
Thanks, Rama. Can we have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Enrique.
Okay.
Roy, do we take a roll call vote or do we?
Yeah, I'll do that. In the matter before the TAC, I'm just going to go down the list here. Hendrik, how do you vote? Aye, nay, or abstain?
Aye.
Enrique,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Rama,
Aye.
Varuna,
Aye.
Matthew.
Aye.
The proposal passes. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much. We're very happy to be here and look forward to working closely with all of you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's
I do
exciting.
apologize. I have a launch crisis thing to solve, so
Yep.
I'm going to deal with that. But thank you again. See you soon.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Kevin. Congratulations again. And we'd like you to actively follow up on open pending items and then get the project repositories into the Decentralized Trust GitHub.
Thank you. Excellent. This is very exciting.
Great. Yeah, and Kevin, I'll follow up with you on next steps.
Okay, congratulations again. Moving on to next agenda item, Rama and Anuchar is not available today. Do we have updates on Loch Ness annual report that we should
No,
discuss in the meeting?
I just sent a reminder to Dennis, but still waiting for his response.
Sounds good. Yep, we can have this discussed again in the next meeting. I did not have any other agenda items for today, unless anybody else have anything else to be brought up in this meeting. I'll take the silence as no. So we'll be back about 30 minutes on today's meeting.
Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. Thank you.